Happy spooky season, crafters. I'm Jane Sawyer, and I'll be posting a new monster build here every day all October long. All right, 31 monsters in 31 days. Let's see who we're gonna make first. And the first monster is the mummy. All right, let's get started.
We're starting by gluing together two corrugated cardboard shapes to make the base of our mummy sculpture. I've cut these two shapes so that the grain runs up and down on one and side to side on the other. This makes our base extra strong and sturdy. A few videos ago, I showed you how you can sculpt almost anything out of a simple blob shape, so all of my monsters this month are starting out as a blob. I'm not going to explain in detail how to make this blob every day, but you can check out that video if you want to see me walk you through the process step by step. For now, I want to tell you a little bit about why the mummy made my list of monsters and how this Egyptian embalming method morphed into a well-known symbol of Halloween. Western interest in Egyptian mummies dates back to medieval Europe with the idea that ancient Egyptians knew the secret to lost magic. This led to the belief that hieroglyphics and powder made from mummified remains held some sort of occult power. This belief persisted in Europe through the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and into the Victorian era. After the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb during an archaeological expedition in 1922, a media sensation created the idea of the mummy's curse. The discovery of Tut's tomb made headlines around the world and sparked a huge public interest. When the expedition's financier died shortly after the tomb's opening, someone in the press suggested that the man had died from a curse placed on the tomb. This fake news gathered so much hype that the death of anybody associated with the expedition was therefore attributed to the curse, no matter how they died. About 10 years later, Universal's film The Mummy, starring Boris Karloff, cemented the mummy's place in spooky pop culture. And why not? With its wispy bandages, ties to death, magic, and curses, it makes the perfect spooky season staple. Alright, I want to show you the plan for this mummy here. I'm sketching out the basic blob shape first. I want to give him a sunken in rib cage, and maybe some of his bandages are coming a bit loose so we can see some of his bones in there. I'm going to also put in a red heart for a pop of color too. I know a real Egyptian mummy doesn't have any organs inside, but that's okay. We're taking some creative license here. And then he's going to have some big sunken in oval eyes, and I think a shocked expression could be cute. I got to figure out what I want to do for his bandages. I've got a couple ideas in mind, but I'm going to think on that for a bit. Okay, here's the dry blob. It's got 4 layers of paper mache on it. This is a nice firm base to work with. Now I want to make the rib bones that are going to be sticking out of that body cavity here and the little heart inside his chest. We'll take care of that now too. I'm making these with DOS brand air dry clay. This clay has a lot of fiber in it, and I really recommend it for a project like this. I'll leave a link for this clay and my other supplies in the video description. To make the heart shape, I'm basically just rolling out a ball of clay and pinching it a little bit, and I'll use a tool to form the indent in the top, and then we'll set that aside to dry. To do the ribs, I'm rolling out a sausage of clay. I'm tapering the ends a little bit and then giving them just a slight curve to make them look more like rib bones. There's nothing too fussy here. So now I want to make that chest cavity here, so I'm going to carve into this blob. I'm marking out the cavity with a marker, then using a craft knife to slice through the paper mache. This footage is really sped up. Cutting through the paper mache is a slow and careful process. Once I've got the oval cut out, I'm pulling it up and squishing down the stuffing inside. Then I'm flipping the oval upside down and pushing it back into the cavity I just created. I'm going to use a strip of corrugated cardboard to create like a wall of the hole I've made here. This just makes the hole a little deeper, so those ribs I sculpted earlier will actually fit in here. If you're having trouble visualizing it now, this will hopefully make sense when you see it come together. I also thought it would look good if his eyes were sunken in a bit, so I repeated the same cavity making procedure to give him 2 sunken eye sockets. I'm coating the eye sockets and the body cavity with a couple layers of paper mache to lock that all together and blend it into the sculpture. Now that I have the eye sockets made, I can sculpt some eyeballs for our little mummy. These will fit nicely. Now I have to set the modified blob, the ribs, and the eyeballs aside to dry overnight.
So now that all my monster pieces are made and dry, I can put this guy together.
Here are the clay bits all dried. I'm gonna give them a light sanding with these nail files I like. I like to take the extra minute to smooth out the eyeballs, because when people are looking to a sculpture, that's one of the first things they go to, and so any imperfections are really noticeable. The nail files I'm using are in the supply list in the description too. Don't forget to protect your lungs while sanding. We're also going to do a bit of painting now. I think it's just going to be easier to paint these pieces now versus after the sculpture is assembled. The heart is getting a couple coats of bright red, the bones are getting painted with a slightly yellowish white, and the eyeballs are getting a couple of coats of just pure white. I'm also painting the body cavity black and the eye sockets purple. Now that the paint is dry, I'm going to start by using some CA glue to put a little bit of scrap craft wood onto the back of the heart. This makes it look like the heart is floating inside the chest cavity. Had I been thinking of it, I probably could have sculpted the little post with clay right onto the heart as I was making it, but I did not think of it then. Now we're going to install the rib bones. I'm cutting away some of the paper mache so I can nestle the little rib bones in there. Then I'm securing them in with hot glue. I'll also wrap a tiny bit of paper mache around them to cover up the hot glue and blend them into the sculpture. I'm hot gluing the eyeballs in place, and then I can paint the pupils onto them. I usually paint the pupils on after I stick the eyeballs onto the sculpture so I can make sure that both eyes are looking in the same direction. Then I'll dry brush some blue around the edges of the eyeballs to make them look extra dead and spooky. When the paint is dry, I'm putting a glossy UV resin top coat onto the eyes to finish them up and also protect my paint job from the very messy step of wrapping this mummy in bandages. So after thinking on it for a while, I decided to go with cheesecloth for the bandages. I picked up a couple packs from the dollar store, but I only ended up using one pack for this project. I left the cheesecloth folded a couple times and cut that into strips about 2 centimeters wide. I cut a small strip to size and then glued it between the mummy's eyes. Then I used a brush to thoroughly cover that cloth with some of my paper mache glue. From there, I soaked the strips I had cut in glue and started wrapping them around my mummy. This was a little bit tricky. I found that if I let the cheesecloth fold over on itself, it was almost impossible to get it to lay flat again. So I had to be careful about how I handled my strips. But gosh, I really love the look of this. I continued wrapping strategically to cover most of the brown paper, but still let the eyes and the ribs and heart poke out. When I was done with the bandages, I used this silicone sculpting tool to push them up from the eyes and make a little gap for a mouth. When the glue on the bandages had set up a bit, I used a small ball of air dry clay to sculpt a scared little mouth before setting it aside to dry overnight. When the glue and clay were fully dry, I trimmed off any flyaway threads, painted the little mouth, and last minute I decided he needed a little nose, so I dunked a scrap of cheesecloth into some glue, formed it into a little ball, and stuck it to his face. Now he's all dry and I could be done here, but as a finishing touch, I like to glue a bit of black felt onto the base. I think this is a nice way to just polish out the finish. And here's our finished mummy. Do you think I did a good job? Is there anything else you would have done differently? Thanks so much for watching to the end. If you could hit the like button or leave me a comment, I'd so appreciate it. Since I'm a smaller channel, any time you interact, it really helps me out because it lets YouTube know that this video is worth watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. If you want to see it early, it is already up on my Patreon. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.